Good morning, Vande Matram. Welcome all of you. So, on this glorious morning, we are going to discuss a great topic that is Jivatma in the Integral Yoga. Really, it is a great topic. Of course, it is meant for the almost it is meant for the inquirers who are in the process of querying, who wants to know. Without these fundamental concepts, actually nothing more can be understood or can be learned. So the basic concepts that we must learn, we must try to learn, and we must be eligible to learn. That is the topic of discussion for this morning. Of course, that is the Jivatma in the Integral Yoga. So that is the topic. Here, of course, we will see the Jivatman and integral Jivatman or integral individual self. Then, of course, we will show and we will learn about Jivatma, psychic being, soul, and the Prakriti. So these are the things we are going to discuss in, of course, in brief in this morning session. So this will be a great discussion. For that, actually, not to follow the mind, that is better. Better it is to go deep inside the heart, and you must try to penetrate and, of course, try to learn something that is the very deeper meaning of this discussion. So this morning we are, of course, going to discuss the one of the most important topics so far this yoga and the process of yoga is concerned. That is the Jivatma in the Integral Yoga. So really, what does really this Jivatma mean? And later we will go for this Integral Yoga. Integral Yoga, Sri Aurobindo, so far this Integral Yoga is concerned, the Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, we have got known it is the yoga where every yoga sees the end, their integral yoga, of course, begins. So the role of Jivatma, how the Jivatma plays the, of course, decisive role. That's what we want to see here. Here in the course, by Jivatma we mean the individual self. By Jivatma we mean the individual self. Essentially, it is the one self with all others. It is one self with all others, but in the multiplicity of the divine, divine was one. He expected and he wanted to be multiplied, multiplicity of his character. But in the multiplicity of the divine, it is the individual self. It was initially, of course, we have known essentially one self with all others. That was the real characteristic, real step. But later, with the multiplicity of the divine, it has been become the individual self, an individual center of the universe. That is a great term Sri Aurobindo has used to explain the Jivatma. And it sees everything in itself and itself in everywhere. And of course, both together. This is a very great concept, very fundamental thing that is fundamentalized by Sri Aurobindo, and we must be interested to know the untold story of the Jivatma, unrecognized and unidentified story of the Jivatma, and sees everything in itself. Number condition one, number two, itself in everything. Number two, or both together, according to the state of consciousness and the point of view. So, with already I have discussed and I have already explained. With the mind, nothing can be done. It is depends upon the state of consciousness and the point of view. With that only it is possible to recognize, to identify, to at least to penetrate somehow into that great penetration. Second, the self or Atman, here in the course beautifully. The self or Atman, how it can be glorified with Sri Aurobindo, is in its nature either transcendent or universal. Either self or self Atman is in its nature of two kinds. One either transcendent or universal. Paramatma or Atma. Here in bracket it quotes it is Paramatma or Atma. When it is individualizes, when it individualized from it, when it individualizes, then what happens, and becomes the central being. With this individualization, it becomes the central being, and it is then Jivatma. Very interesting how it becomes Jivatma here in the course, self or Atman. In its nature, it is a transcendent or universal. Paramatma or Atma. when it is individualized, it individualizes itself and becomes the individualized and becomes the central being, then it is jivatma. That is a great point, great topic that is being that is must be understood. Then this jivatma feels his oneness with the universal, feels its one, this jivatma which has been the atma being individualized. So this Jivatma feels its oneness with the universal and at the same time its central separateness as a portion of the divine. Definitely, it is the portion of the divine. When individualizes itself, it becomes a Jivatma. That Jivatma, same Jivatma, feels the oneness with the universal, oneness with the universal, but at the same time, the central separateness of a portion in the divine. Again, we are going to know the individual self. Here in the very explains beautifully and very completely, very influentially. This is a great definition from Sri Aurobindo. The individual self is usually described as a portion of the transcendent and the cosmic self. The individual self, usually described as a portion of the transcendent and the cosmic self, a portion of the transcendent and the cosmic self. In the higher and subtler ranges of the consciousness, it knows itself as that. How it knows? In the higher and the subtler ranges of consciousness. Just imagine consciousness, not only consciousness, in the higher and the subtler ranges of consciousness. It knows itself as that, as the cosmic self, as the portion of the transcendent and the cosmic self. Again, but in the lower, it is there in the, it is aware of the divine. So in the higher nature, it knows the higher and the subtler ranges of the consciousness and the portion of the transcendent and the cosmic self. But in the lower nature, when we are coming to the lower consciousness, in the lower, where the consciousness is actually more and more clouded, where in the lower part we find our consciousness more and more clouded. In that condition, in that scenario, what happens? It identifies with the surface process of personality, creations of Prakriti, and becomes unaware of the divine origin. It loses, it mingles with what? With two. Number one is surface forms of personality, second, creations of Prakriti. Then what happens? How it changes? It changes to the becomes unaware of the divine origin. That is the main problem here in the lower. But in upper, higher, it is something. It knows, it identifies, it individualizes, it knows. Again, here in the quote, self, where one becomes aware of it. When one becomes aware of the self, then what happens? Is felt as something self-existent, eternal, which is not identified with the forms of mental, vital, and physical persons. When somebody gets self, when one becomes aware, because in lower nature that awareness is very much limited. When somebody becomes aware of this self, then what happens? It is felt something self-existent and eternal. Eternality was, it is, and it must be self-existent and eternal, which is not identified with the process of mental and vital and physical. It is something self-existent, something eternal, is definitely portion of the divine. But these are only small expressions of its potentialities in nature. Small expressions of the personalities in the nature. What people call themselves, what people call themselves now only, it is the matter of ego, separatist form of ego. It is only egocentric comments. Now only the ego and or the mind or life force of the body. Now we are in the lower forces become, as per our unawareness, everything comes under the, we see is seen or felt as the ego, the mind or life force as the body, but there is that is because they think in the forms of the formation of the prakriti. That is what the formation of the prakriti, but don't see behind them what is the reality, what is the true self, what is the Jivatma. That is what the lacuna, that is what the problem with not only one or two, it is in the most of the cases. Again, for the most part of the supreme acts through the jiva. For the most here in the course, the supreme acts through the jiva. Already we have known in the mother, that small book we have seen in the divine supreme acts with the in the ego of the jiva in the lower nature. This work is done here, and that the ego nature already here in the has quoted here acts with the jiva and its nature. that supreme acts. And the jiva and the nature act through the ego. Smell, small thing, jiva and the nature, it acts through the ego, and the ego acts through the outer instruments. That is what everything is superficial, everything is external. Here already I want to quote it again, beautiful comment and a beautiful line. Supreme acts through the jiva, number one. Then, and its nature. Then this jiva and the nature acts through the ego. Third, the ego acts itself with the outer instruments. This is the play of the ignorance. Everything how turns the three steps of play. Sri Aurobindo has quoted, Sri Aurobindo has analyzed and explained. Part supreme acts through the ego and its nature. Then jiva and the nature acts through the ego, and this ego acts through the outer instruments. That is the play of the ignorance. What Sri Aurobindo quotes and explains. Essentially, one jiva has the same nature as all. Essentially, that is a beautiful, that is a big point to be considered. Essentially, one jiva has the same nature in all, but in manifestation, each puts in its own line of svabhava. It has got its svabhava. So the manifestation is put forth as its own line of svabhava. Against here in the course, Jivatma is above all the planes. This Jivatma, this individual self, what we say, is above all the planes. It has no fixed form or color, no fixed or form or color, though it may represent itself in a form, but actually no fixed form or color, and it is above all the planes. Jivatma has always two properties, one is calm and the second is peace. But it is the nature of the Prakriti which is not quiet. That is the difference between Jivatma and the Prakriti. Nature will see in Jivatma calm and peace, but in nature or Prakriti it is not quiet. Last and again we'll go for the beautiful discussion, that is to know the Jivatma, psychic being, soul and the Prakriti. Sri Aurobindo quotes here gives the one of the most beautiful message. The spirit is the Atman, Brahman, essential divine. That is a big word. When one divine manifests in the inherent multiplicity, already we have known one divine. When it comes to manifest in the inherent multiplicity, this essential self or Atman becomes for that manifestation the Jivatma. Multiplicity, with this multiplicity, self, essential self or Atman becomes for that manifestation Jivatma, the central being, who presides over and presides from above. From above, it presides over the evolution of the potentialities and terrestrial lives, number one. Then, but it is itself the eternal portion of the divine and prior to the terrestrial manifestation, para prakriti jiva bhuta. So this is the great topic, great thing told. It is to identify divine manifests in the process of multiplicity. The essential self or Atman becomes for the manifestation of the Jivatma, the central beings, who presides from above. Then in the above the evolution of the personalities and the second terrestrial lives here. But it is the divine, eternal portion of the divine, and prior to the terrestrial evolution, para prakrutir jiva bhuta. Then there are another two terms come. In the lower manifestation or apara prakriti, the eternal portion of the divine appears as the soul. Soul, spark of the divine fire. Supporting what it does really the soul, supporting the individual evolution. Second, supporting the mental, vital and physical being. Next, after the soul, psychic being, is the spark glowing into the fire. Spark later going into the, with the dynamism, going into the fire. Evolving with the growth of the consciousness. Psychic being, therefore, is evolutionary. It has a dynamism. Spark grows into the fire. It has the growth of consciousness. Not like the Jivatma prior to the evolution. But the man is not aware of the self or Jivatma. Man, the problem is that he is not aware of the self or Jivatma. He is not only aware of the ego, and he is aware of the mental being which controls life and the body, not knowing the real individual self or Jivatma. He is aware of the ego, mental being which controls the mind and life and body. But more deeply becomes aware of the soul or psychic being is the true center. After this, he becomes soul as knows, becomes aware of the soul and psychic being at the center. The Purusha in the heart is psychic, in the settled being in the process of evolution. That proceeds from and represents Divatma and the eternal portion of the divine. That beautifully how these two will coincide or correlates here in the course when there is the full consciousness. When there is full consciousness, very important line it has to be marked. When there is the full consciousness, the Jivatma and the psychic join together. About the next form, we will see part about the ego. Ego is the formation of nature. Ego is the formation of the nature, but it is not the formation of the physical nature alone. It has got, it does not cease with the body. So, mental and the vital ego, they also exist. Again, the base of the mental consciousness is not only the ignorance. Base of the material consciousness is not only the ignorance but also inconscience. That consciousness is involved in form of the matter and energy of matter. Consciousness is involved in the form of matter and energy of matter. It is not only the material consciousness but the vital and mental truth that is separated from the truth by the ignorance. So, this is the great topic. Of course, it has been defined, and finally, we'll know one beautiful line. The individual self is the central being. The individual self is the central being or Jivatma, manifesting in the lower nature as the psychic being. It is directly a portion of the divine. That is what the great point to be understood and the great point to be, of course, recalled. Anyway, it is the great topic. It is a great day. It is a great event. It is a great discussion. There is no doubt of it. So we must try to stop here. Thank you. Vandana.